Hey guys, we're super excited to be here at the LA Fit Expo. It's our third year in a row. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be launching the Tasty Pastry. It's a low-carb Pop-Tart. It's got 3 to 4 grams of net carbs. And we love this show. This is our best place to be in LA.
Welcome back to Legendary Foods Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo and today is Wednesday, December 15th, 2020. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. All right, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's the last recap Wednesday before the Olympia. And let's get to it. We have one more show on the docket today, and it's a recap of the USA Championships, so let's get right to it. In the men's bodybuilding super heavyweight and overall winner, Chris Robinson punched his ticket to the land of giants with a huge win here. Dominic Semenza was your overall winner in classic physique, and in the men's physique division, the overall title went to Jonas Jimena. Moving on to the women's side of things, we're starting with women's bodybuilding, where congratulations are in order for the new Miss USA, Michelle Dornan. Layla Ikafo outpaced the group to bring home the gold in women's physique, and in figure, overall winner Stephanie Gibson looked like she had the potential to make an impact in this division within the next few years. Amy Valaquez locked up the overall title in bikini, and closing out our coverage here is the wellness champ, Bruna Faraz. Since there weren't any pro shows last weekend, we technically don't have anything else to recap, which is why I'm dubbing the rest of this show Precap Wednesday, so we can talk about a few things heading into the Olympia weekend. And of course, there's no other place to start than with Roelly Winklaar's last-minute announcement about pulling out of the weekend's contest. According to Roelly, he found out that he had tested positive for COVID while he was in Turkey, which made it impossible for him to compete this weekend, given that he has to quarantine now. People can say what they want about Roelly not being able to go, which is fine if you're one of those people who loves to be negative. But the fact of the matter is that Roelly's still one of the biggest names in bodybuilding, and not having him in this Olympia lineup is a huge loss no matter which way you want to look at it. And in some ways, this almost feels like something that was inevitable this year. But as they say, where one door closes, another door opens. And to me, this just opens the door for some of the new blood to fill his spot in the top 6 and really establish themselves as legitimate title contenders from here on out. I realized this morning that we hadn't talked a lot about women's bodybuilding returning to the Olympia stage this weekend. And if we're going to talk about women's bodybuilding, the conversation almost always has to start with Iris Kyle. Not only is she a 10-time champ and the winningest athlete of all time in the history of women's bodybuilding, she's also going the Phil Heath route in the sense that she's attempting to make her comeback after a long layoff. The one caveat with Iris is that she set the bar so high before she retired that it almost feels like she's competing against herself and everyone else, because we're judging the new Iris by an impossible standard that the old Iris set when she was in her prime. But if there was ever anyone in the history of the division who could do the impossible, it's Iris. So it should be fun to see how things shake out in this division come this weekend. And finally, the last item up on my agenda for today was to send a shout out to my man, the myth, and the legend, Dexter Jackson. In case you haven't heard, Dexter has announced that this weekend will be the last time we see the future Hall of Famer compete on a bodybuilding stage. I don't really believe that, but that's what he says, because the ageless wonder has finally decided it's time to hang up the posing trunks for good. Honestly, we could probably do 3 straight days worth of content talking about all the amazing accomplishments that Dexter's had throughout his career, including his epic run to the 2008 Olympia title. But this isn't the place for that. Instead, I just want to remind everyone who's not attending in person to buy the pay-per-view if you can, because you'll regret not seeing him while you have the chance. Because once he's gone, well, he'll probably be back. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.